Squays, Wolan, Kinahan Cartel, the world's most powerful gang, true crime documentary. Shout out to RH. RH sent this on the Kick. Right now, currently, I'm not live on Kick right now. My son got sick, so I'm just doing this right quick before I go take care of him and stuff. So, like, comment, subscribe. Let's jump right into this. I want to have some content, some new, fresh stuff for y'all. So let me do this right quick and post it up early. But like, comment, subscribe, man. I need y'all to go follow the Kick, man. Please, if you're not doing nothing else, follow the Kick, Squeeze Reacts. I'm trying to get to 1,500 followers. And I need more people to be in the chat so I can get monetized. Help a brother out. Let's get right to this cartel stuff, though.
Blackcap Murray entered the hotel and began searching for Daniel Kinahan.
And honestly, the real victims in this, and I'm sorry I'm so passionate about it, are the communities, because these people live next door to other people. Those families.
Hit the like button, y'all. It helps the page a lot. I appreciate it.
Who are involved have neighbours. Those neighbours have children.
And what's your relationship going to be going forward?
I've just had a million questions about all this rubbish before. I don't get involved in other people's business, so.
On the morning of February 5th, 2016, the Regency Hotel in Dublin was alive with the buzz of a major boxing weigh-in. The crowd, a mix of fans, reporters and fighters, gathered in anticipation, but the event took a dark, unexpected turn when gunmen disguised as police officers stormed the hotel. They moved with precision, automatic weapons in hand, and headed straight for their target, David Byrne, a key member of the Kinahan Organized Crime Group, or KOCG. Within moments, bullets flew across the room, fatally wounding Byrne and injuring two others. The attack, later attributed to the Hutch crime family.
Damn, niggas came in acting like 12?
A rival Gangland faction sent shockwaves through Dublin and marked a bloody escalation in a multi-year-long feud. This brazen assassination, carried out in broad daylight, symbolized the ruthlessness of the Kinahan Cartel and its determination to dominate the Dublin underworld. In the wake of Byrne's death, the feud intensified, leading to a string of retaliatory killings that would leave over 18 people dead.
The guns that are out there, I mean, have they been used?
I just subscribed to this channel. I just looked through it a little bit. I said, oh, this shit look lit over here. This look lit over here. This is I be needing new doc pages. It look lit over here. Hold on. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe if y'all not.
Man in Drag and Kevin Flatcap Murray.
I'm sorry.
I mean, have they been used?
That were
To be honest.
You can see footage there from the National Crime Agency of his arrest.
In handing down the verdict, presiding judge Tony Hunt said the court was satisfied that Mr. Kyo was the man who shot Mr. Hutch in a callous and cold-blooded manner. He said that Mr. Kyo had a hand in every aspect of the planning of the murder. Now, dressed in a grey t-shirt, Mr. Kyo made no expression or no reaction while the verdict was handed down.
The Kinahan Organized Crime Group, or KOCG, is one of the most significant and far-reaching criminal enterprises to emerge from Ireland, with operations and alliances that span several continents. Originally founded by Christy Kinahan Sr., a figure often dubbed the Dapper Don, an old reference to infamous New York Mafia boss John Gotti, due to his sophistication and reputation in the criminal underworld. The group first became active in the 1990s. Christy Kinahan, born in '57, established himself as a drug trafficker, using his extensive connections to build a major narcotics empire. By the early 2000s, his son Daniel Kinahan had joined the organization, bringing a new level of ambition and strategic insight that would propel the KOCG into international prominence. Christy Kinahan's operations were marked by an extensive use of international contacts, which allowed him to source large quantities of drugs, particularly cocaine and heroin, from South American suppliers. These drugs were then smuggled into Europe using various ports in a network of operatives that extended across Spain, the Netherlands, and the UK. As the group expanded, Daniel Kinahan began to assume more leadership responsibilities. By the early 2010s, had largely taken over the day-to-day operations, with Christy Kinahan stepping back from the spotlight, but continuing to exert influence from behind the scenes. Daniel Kinahan, born in '77, has since become the public face of the Kinahan Cartel, despite his efforts to portray himself as a legitimate businessman. Daniel's made high-profile appearances in the boxing world, claiming to be involved in sports promotion through his connections with MPK Global, a sports management company he co-founded. His involvement in boxing provided him with a facade of legitimacy and a global network of associates, allowing him to conduct the cartel's business under the guise of a reputable sports promoter.
So obviously we had the situation last week when the US authorities announced that Daniel Kinahan was sanctioned. What was your relationship with him, and what's your relationship going to be going forward?
I've just had a million questions about all this rubbish before, but like I said to them, it's none of my business, and I don't get involved in other people's business, so it doesn't really concern me.
But was he involved at all?
Perfect answer. Shout out to my guy, man. Perfect answer.
In this fight?
No involvement.
And do you still speak to him? Is he still somebody that is close to you? Will you speak to him?
He's not my father, let's just say that.
And obviously a lot has been made of the fact that you were pictured with him in February. Does that suggest that you are still close to him?
To be honest, I've never been close to anybody apart from my wife and my kids. So there we are.
What? My boy is media trained. That's a media trained question right there. That's a media trained question right there. Shout out to my boy.
With him in February. Does that suggest that you are still close to him?
To be honest, I've never been close to anybody apart from my wife and my kids. So there we are.
This connection to the boxing world came under intense scrutiny in 2020, when media reports highlighted Daniel's role in organizing major boxing events, sparking an outcry that led many in the industry to distance themselves from him. The KOCG operates with a corporate-style hierarchy that includes roles focused on logistics, enforcement, and financial management. Trusted associates like Sean McGovern, Liam Byrne, and Freddie Thompson play crucial roles within the organization, handling tasks that range from coordinating drug shipments to managing local enforcers. Sean McGovern, for example, is a close associate of Daniel Kinahan, who became a prominent figure in the cartel's Irish operations before moving to Dubai to avoid law enforcement. Another significant figure, Liam Byrne, leads the cartel's operations in the
Dubai to move, you trying to get low on the boys, not go to jail. You just gotta have some money on it. Dubai to move. You see Dirk try to get up out of there and go to Dubai. Dirk tried to slide to Dubai on niggas.
United Kingdom, where he oversees drug distribution networks and enforcement teams. Freddie Thompson, a convicted enforcer, has been implicated in several of the Kinahan-Hutch Feud killings, highlighting the violent tactics that the cartel employs to maintain control. The organization's violent reputation is rooted in its ongoing feud with the Hutch family, a rival Dublin-based crime group. This conflict, known as the Kinahan-Hutch Feud, erupted in September of 2015 after the infamous murder of Gary Hutch, a former Kinahan associate and nephew of Gerard the Monk Hutch, the head of the Hutch crime family. Gary Hutch's murder in Marbella, Spain, marked the beginning of a bloody gang war that has resulted in countless deaths, many of them being high-profile assassinations carried out in broad daylight.
He was shot 6 times by 2 of the fake police officers, dying from catastrophic injuries. In August 2021, Gerry Hutch, known as the Monk, was arrested by police in Spain and extradited to Ireland, charged with Byrne's murder. 52 days of evidence were heard at the non-jury court. Today, the judges said they doubted the evidence of the key witness in the case, former Sinn Féin councillor Jonathan Dowdall, who turned state's witness.
The feud between the Kinahan organised crime group and the Hutch family stands as one of the bloodiest conflicts in Irish organised crime history, claiming at least 18 lives since it erupted in 2015. On September 24, 2015, Gary Hutch was shot dead in Miraflores.
Say 18 bodies since 2015?
Conflicts in Irish organised crime history, claiming at least 18 lives since it erupted in 2015. On September 24, 2015, Gary Hutch was shot dead in Miraflores, a resort town near September 24, 2015, Gary Hutch was shot dead in Miraflores, a resort town near Marbella in Spain. After falling out with the Kinahan cartel, he begged for his life as the gunmen shot him down, his killing marking the beginning of a vicious gang.
That reach is so long, nigga. Niggas is a cartel. That reach so long, nigga. Them niggas that get you. Them niggas that get you.
War, with both sides engaging in tit-for-tat assassinations that targeted family members, associates, and sometimes even innocent bystanders. One of the most high-profile events in this feud occurred on February 5th, 2016, when gunmen stormed the boxing weigh-in at the Regency Hotel in Dublin, targeting key members of the Kinahan cartel. Disguised as members of the Gardaí Emergency Response Unit, the attackers opened fire, killing David Byrne, a prominent Kinahan associate, and wounding 2 others. David Byrne was a close ally of Daniel Kinahan, and his death marked a critical escalation in the feud. The Regency Hotel attack sent shockwaves through Dublin, prompting a massive law enforcement response and setting off a series of retaliatory killings as the Kinahan cartel sought revenge for Byrne's death. In the fallout of the shooting, the hotel rebranded, and police released a series of surveillance videos not only showing the gunmen storming the hotel, but even 2 lookouts who entered the hotel before the gunmen trying to find Daniel Kinahan, one of them wearing a flat cap and the other one dressed in drag.
The man in drag and Kevin Flatcap Murray.
Wow, son. Yo, nah, son. Nah, son. What? Niggas on demon. Niggas is on demon. Niggas dressed up like a warlord. That bitch looking like a warlord.
Other one dressed in drag.
The man in drag and Kevin Flatcap Murray enter the hotel and begin searching for Daniel Kinahan. Shots are fired in the lobby and people began to flee the hotel. Senior Kinahan Lieutenant David Byrne is seen here running away from the lobby, but he turns back towards the main entrance. He is spotted by one of the men disguised as an ERU officer. Byrne is shot and wounded. As the other gunmen enter the lobby, Byrne is shot again. The gang continue to sweep the hotel in search of Daniel Kinahan. The man in drag is overheard saying, "I can't find him. I don't know where he is." The gang then make their escape. David Byrne is shot again as the gang exit the hotel.
Them niggas made sure he died. Nigga, first nigga shot him. Next niggas came and shot him. And on the way out, boom! Niggas had a, yo, boy dressed up in there. It's funny it's funny that they even know that it's a dude acting like a girl. Why that couldn't be a girl?
Byrne was shot up to 6 times in the head, face and stomach.
Following the Regency attack, the KO...
They made sure his ass was dead. Rest in peace. They made sure his ass was dead.
OCG intensified its efforts to eliminate members of the Hutch family and their associates. Numerous killings ensued in quick succession as each side attempted to outmaneuver and outgun the other. On April 4th, 2016, Michael Barr, a Hutch associate, was shot dead at the Sunset House pub in Dublin. Barr's murder was widely believed to be retribution for his alleged involvement in planning the Regency Hotel attack. His death was followed by the murder of Gareth Hutch, another member of the Hutch family, who was gunned down in May 2016 outside his home in central Dublin. His killing was part of a string of shootings that took place over several months, leaving a trail of violence across Ireland's capital. The conflict continued with high-profile assassinations and shocking displays of brutality. In July 2016, Noel Kirwan, nicknamed Duck Egg, an associate of the Hutch family, was shot dead in his car outside his home in Clondalkin, Dublin. His death was followed by the murder of Michael Coe in May 2017, a Hutch associate who was gunned down in his car near the Irish National War Memorial Gardens. The Kinahan cartel was believed to be behind these killings, using a network of hitmen to carry out attacks that would send a message to their enemies. In 2018, the feud saw another high-profile killing when Eamon the Don Dunn, a former ally of the Kinahan cartel, was murdered in Dublin. Dunn had previously worked with the Kinahans but fell out with the group over financial disputes.
Hey, shout out to all my people in Dublin too, man. Yeah, shout out to everybody. I got a lot of supporters, a lot of followers in Dublin, man. Shout out to y'all.
By this point, the feud had drawn international media attention, put the cartel on the map as one of the most high-profile gangs in the world. The Irish government and law enforcement agencies faced immense pressure to intervene and curb the bloodshed. Operation Hybrid, a multi-agency response involving the Gardaí, the Criminal Assets Bureau, and other European law enforcement agencies, was launched in 2016 in the fallout of the Regency attack to target the leaders and enforcers on both sides of the feud. While Operation Hybrid successfully disrupted some of the cartel's activities and led to some arrests, violence persisted, with both sides showing little willingness to back down. As of 2024, the Kinahan-Hutch Feud has led to over a dozen arrests and convictions, with key players on both sides either killed or imprisoned. Events of the war have overlapped with the Crumlin-Drimnagh Feud, an old Irish street gang war that had started back in the early 2000s, with one of the main members of the Kinahan cartel, Craig White, being involved in the original war. He'd been the one behind Eamon Dunn's death, while Fat Freddie Thompson, another major member of the Kinahan cartel, had been charged with the murder of David Douglas, a zookeeper and criminal, and a member of a rival gang. Thompson was related to the cartel through his blood relation to the Burton family, being a cousin of the family, and had been a major member in both the Crumlin-Drimnall feud and the Hutch-Kinahan feud. High-profile figures like Daniel Kinahan remain at large, living in Dubai and coordinating the cartel's activities from afar. However, despite these efforts, the Kinahan cartel continues to exert influence in Ireland and abroad. Meanwhile, Gerard Hutch, the head of the Hutch family, was extradited to Ireland in 2021 and faced trial in connection with the Regency hotel attack, further complicating the dynamics of the feud. He was inevitably acquitted in the trial, but as things continue, the Hutch-Kinahan feud refuses to die down. In the intense escalation of the gang war, the Kinahan cartel resorted to hiring foreign—
What? Niggas got found not guilty for that hotel shit? Niggas was moving mad in there. What?
contract killers to eliminate key Hutch associates. One such killer was Emre Arakas, an Estonian hitman known as the Butcher, due to his brutal reputation in organized crime.
Go back in time, I suppose, was it 2017? Imre Arakas landed in this country, and straight away the police were on his trail. They were probably on his trail.
Literally on a flight from Alicante.
Literally on a flight from Alicante. And he was picked up pretty quickly. And straight away, that's when the name The Butcher came out, because whatever way it came out, that people were aware of this extensive criminal background to Imre Arakas.
Arakas, who had a history of violent assignments across Europe, became involved with the Kinahan cartel in 2017 when they allegedly recruited him to assassinate a prominent Hutch associate, James Gately, nicknamed Mago. The plot unfolded in early April 2017 when Arakas traveled from Spain to Ireland, instructed to carry out a high-stakes hit on Gately, who was reported to have a €250,000 bounty on his head. Gately was targeted by the Kinahan cartel for his connections to the Hutch family and his—
Nigga got on that flight for that 250. Yeah, niggas get on that flight for that 250, nigga. Fuck you talking about?
Perceived threat to the cartel's operations in Dublin. His survival was seen as an affront to the Kinahans, and they were so determined to eliminate him, they sent over a foreign hitman to do the job. Upon his arrival in Dublin, Arakas rented a property in the city's north side. The Gardaí had been monitoring the situation closely, aware that the Kinahan cartel might resort to using foreign assassins. Through surveillance, Gardaí intercepted encrypted messages that detailed Arakis' planned attack on Gately. The messages revealed his meticulous preparation and coordination with Kinahan operatives, as well as the sophisticated encrypted communications network used to conceal his movements. Arakis' plan involved tracking Gately's routine and finding a vulnerable moment to execute the assassination. However, Gardaí operatives moved swiftly, launching a raid on Arakis' rental property on April 4th, 2017. Inside, they discovered crucial evidence linking him to the assassination plot, including coded messages from Kinahan associates.
They was on, son. That nigga was too known. As soon as he got there, they was on him. He didn't even get a chance to bust a play. God damn.
Crucial evidence linking him to the assassination
The old man mask.
plot, including coded messages from Kinahan associates, maps of Gately's typical locations, and detailed notes on his target's daily habits. Arakas was arrested before he could carry out the hit, marking a significant breakthrough in the Gardaí's efforts to curb the Kinahan cartel's violent operations. During his trial, it was revealed that Arakas had a long history of violent crime and was well connected with criminal groups across Europe. His willingness to travel from one country to another to fulfill murder contracts exposed the transnational nature of organized crime and the lengths to which the Kinahan cartel was willing to go to remove their enemies. In 2018, Arakas was sentenced to 6 years in prison in Ireland for conspiring to murder Gately. His conviction represented a major victory for Irish law enforcement, a success in a pool of legal failures, and it highlighted the effectiveness of international—
I mean, he didn't get to finish the kill. He didn't get the kill, so I guess 6 years is decent, right?
cooperation, intelligence sharing, and combating organized crime. Following his conviction in Ireland, Arakas faced even further extradition to Lithuania on additional murder charges, and his arrest and conviction were hailed as significant setbacks for the Kinahan cartel. Despite his imprisonment, the KOCG continued to escalate its campaign against the Hutch family, and as stated earlier, the war is still ongoing to this day.
We see that as a significant development in our ongoing international efforts to combat transnational organised crime.
Sean McGovern is wanted in connection with the murder of Noel Kerwin, who was shot dead in Ronanstown 3 days before Christmas in 2016. The 62-year-old grandfather, known as Duck Egg, was an innocent man and had no involvement in crime, but was a neighbour of the Hutches and was pictured beside Jerry the Monk Hutch at his brother Eddie's funeral. Sean McGovern was also one of 7 leaders of the Kinahan gang named and sanctioned by US authorities in 2022 alongside Daniel Kinahan, his father Christopher Sr. and brother Christopher Jr.
We have always said that we're resolute and relentless in the pursuit of those individuals. They are Irish nationals. They've created, the Kinahan organised crime gang have created misery throughout the world. They've been involved in very serious criminality, and they are a murderous gang of drug dealers.
Sean McGovern was also shot and injured at the Regency hotel shooting in February 2016, during which his friend and fellow gang member David Byrne was killed. It marked an escalation in the Kinahan-Hutch Feud, which has so far claimed the lives of 18 people.
Organised crime groups think that by crossing borders that they can evade the law. They cannot. There can be no hiding place for any criminal anywhere in the world.
Meanwhile, as the war unfolded, most of the cartel's main members fled to Dubai. The Millionaire Playground has become a critical refuge for the leaders of the Kinahan organised crime group, providing them with a strategic base of operations despite mounting international efforts to dismantle the cartel. Since moving to Dubai around 2016, Daniel Kinahan and other high-ranking members such as Sean McGovern have used the city as a sanctuary to evade law enforcement. The United Arab Emirates, particularly Dubai, has developed a reputation as a haven for international fugitives, attracting wealthy individuals involved in organized crime due to its under-regulated financial systems and limited extradition policies. For the Kinahan cartel, this setting has allowed them to operate without the fear of extradition, despite the increasing international scrutiny. Efforts to extradite Kinahan cartel members from Dubai have intensified, especially since the US imposed sanctions on Daniel Kinahan and his family members in April of 2022. These sanctions, introduced in coordination with Ireland and other international partners, were intended to isolate the Kinahan leadership financially and diplomatically. The Kinahan cartel's residence in Dubai has drawn additional attention because of its alleged connections to other powerful criminal organizations, including the Russian Mafia and the Italian Camorra. According to a report by Sunday World, the Kinahan cartel has reportedly established links with Russian Mafia members, hoping to strengthen its defenses and evade international law enforcement pressure. These alliances have allowed the KOCG to fortify its operations in the city, further complicating efforts by authorities to pursue extraditions. Around the time of 2016, Daniel Kinahan, Edin Geçenin, a major Bosnian drug trafficker, Ridwan Taghi, a Moroccan drug trafficker and one of the most wanted criminals in Denmark, and Raffaele Imperiale, a major drug trafficker in the Italian Camorra, met at the Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai, where Imperiale was staying hiding from the law, and began to form plans to form a major super European cartel. The idea was to hold a monopoly over the Peruvian cocaine trade, which would give them full control over 1/3 of Europe's cocaine trade. However, things began to fall apart with time as the government began coming after all of the members of the cartel. Ridwan Taghi, a Dutch-Moroccan criminal mastermind and leader of the super cartel, was apprehended. Known for overseeing a massive cocaine trafficking operation in Europe, his alliance with the cartel allowed both organizations to begin dominating Europe's cocaine market. Taghi was arrested in Dubai on December 16, 2019, after a lengthy investigation by Dutch authorities. Taghi's arrest was particularly significant, as he'd been using Dubai as a safe haven, a pattern mirrored by Daniel Kinahan and other members of the cartel. On August 4, 2021, around 2 years later, Imperiale was arrested as well, ended up even flipping to the state in December of 2022, being caught at his hotel in Dubai. In 2023, the net around the KOCG's Dubai stronghold began to tighten as well. Sean McGovern, a senior figure in the cartel and close confidant of Daniel Kinahan, was arrested in Dubai in October of 2024. His arrest was seen as a significant development in the international efforts to bring down the cartel's leadership. However, while his detention marked progress, there remains uncertainty about whether the UAE will actually approve his extradition. Despite the international efforts from European and American authorities, the UAE's lack of formal extradition agreements with several European countries, including Ireland, has presented a substantial obstacle. In response, authorities have taken incremental steps to weaken the KOCG's operations in Dubai. For instance, the UAE recently signed a historic cooperation agreement with Irish authorities, which, while not formalizing an extradition treaty, indicates a willingness to assist in monitoring and potentially detaining individuals associated with the Kinahan cartel.
Ran the Kinahan crime cartel's UK operation, and you can see footage there from the National Crime Agency of his arrest in an airport in the UK in January 2019. And the crime agency estimated that he oversaw the importation of €36 million worth of cannabis and cocaine into the UK in 2016 and 2017 in 23 shipments, and one of those shipments, of course, was
It's really motherfuckers out here getting money. Yeah, this motherfuckers out here getting money. I ain't gonna lie. This motherfuckers out here getting money, taking them risks. But is it worth it? Yeah, it sounds like it. But nah, it ain't.
Intercepted in Dover in January or October 2017, and that's when this massive investigation started.
Aside from the arrests of McGovern, Thompson, and several other key figures and friends of the cartel, one of the most significant arrests occurred on January 12, 2019, when Thomas Cavanaugh, nicknamed Bomber, one of Daniel Kinahan's closest associates, was detained at Birmingham Airport in the United Kingdom. Known for his involvement in the UK-based logistics and enforcement arm of the KOCG, Cavanaugh was linked to extensive drug and arms trafficking activities. Investigations revealed his role in importing large quantities of cocaine, cannabis, and firearms into the UK, hidden within legitimate cargo shipments. His arrest led to his eventual sentencing in April of 2022, when he received a 21-year prison term following his conviction on multiple charges of drug trafficking and money laundering. This high-profile conviction marked a considerable blow to the cartel's UK operations, as Cavanaugh had been instrumental in managing drug shipments and coordinating with other criminal networks outside Ireland and within the kingdom's borders. In addition to all these arrests, ongoing operations in Ireland have led to the capture of lower-ranking Kinahan associates involved in the cartel's day-to-day operations. In February of 2023, a raid by the Criminal Assets Bureau in Dublin led to the seizure of over €500,000 in cash, as well as luxury vehicles, jewelry, and real estate assets linked to the Kinahan network. These raids, part of a police operation named Operation Shovel, represented an attempt to disrupt the cartel's financial ecosystem and limit their influence in Ireland. Other law enforcement strategies have included targeting the cartel's encrypted communications. The takedown of the EncroChat network in 2020 provided European authorities with invaluable insights into the cartel's operations. EncroChat, an encrypted phone network widely used by criminals, allowed cartel members to communicate securely without fear of interception. However, when law enforcement infiltrated the chat, it led to a wave of arrests, asset seizures, and the disruption of drug shipments. Despite these strides, many of the operations led by the Irish police have failed, and the Kinahan cartel's top leadership remains elusive. Daniel Kinahan continues to operate publicly, even holding a public Twitter account with almost 90,000 followers, and has not yet been extradited, largely due to the UAE's lack of formal extradition agreements with European countries.
The Hutch family name is well known in organised crime circles in Dublin, not just because of Gerard's reputation, but also because of the activities of his nephews, Derek Delboy Hutch, the late Christopher Bouncer Hutch, and Gary Hutch. These pictures are horrific, blood being washed off the streets following a murder. But this is the shocking reality of gangland crime today, where there's no respect for human life. Gary Hutch was driving this Jeep when Patrick Doyle was attacked in it and shot dead in Spain last month.
I feel if they're involved in serious crime, they're very foolish to be involved in serious crime, but they're my nephews, there's probably 50 guys out there or 50 family members with the same name as Hutch, and if one of them gets into trouble, whether he's a relative or a friend, it lands on my door with the media. I'm thrown in, my photograph is thrown in.
But they are serious players. They are serious players.
Well, I have kids myself. I have a wife and I have 5 kids, and my kids are not involved in crime.
The KOCG has become synonymous with complex and far-reaching money laundering operations. With an estimated €1 billion in assets, the cartel has mastered a diverse set of strategies to convert illicit funds into legitimate wealth. These operations span numerous countries and employ unconventional techniques that allow the cartel to avoid law enforcement and continue their global reach. One of the KOCG's most effective laundering methods involves the gold trade in sub-Saharan Africa, particularly Zimbabwe. The cartel reportedly entered the gold trade around 2019, using large sums of cash smuggled from Europe to purchase gold directly from Zimbabwean dealers. Investigation by the Sunday Times revealed that the KOCG's operations in Africa, especially Zimbabwe, have laundered millions of euros through this method. The cartel exploits the country's economic instability and the high demand for US dollars, allowing them to buy gold cheaply. cheaply in exchange for hard currency. The mechanics of these gold transactions are complex. Cash generated from drug sales across Europe, primarily in the United Kingdom, Ireland, and Spain, is smuggled into Zimbabwe using second-hand vehicles. These vehicles, which are often shipped from European ports to entry points like Beira and Mozambique, in Walvis Bay in Namibia, have cash hidden within door panels and other compartments. Once the vehicles reach Zimbabwe, the cash is extracted and exchanged on the black market for US dollars at a discounted rate. According to Shona, a South African informant with knowledge of the cartel's operations, the KOCG smuggled so much cash into Zimbabwe that it temporarily drove down the black market exchange rate for the euro and the British pound. These dollars are then used to purchase gold from local miners, bypassing Zimbabwe's central gold buying entity, Fidelity Printers and Refiners, and circumventing official regulatory oversight. In addition to Zimbabwe, the KOCG's gold operations extend into South Africa and Mozambique. Cartel operatives use Johannesburg as a base, where they work with local gold dealers to facilitate smuggling routes into Dubai. Once the gold arrives in Dubai, it is integrated into the city's legal bullion market, where it can be melted down, recast, and sold to buyers without any trace of its illicit origins. To enhance their control over the gold supply chain, Kinahan's associates set up an online trading platform, allowing users to buy, sell, and trade African gold and other commodities. Banking records obtained during a 2024 investigation showed transactions of up to 130,000 euros flowing through the online platform into American bank accounts, providing another avenue for laundering proceeds from European drug sales. The KOCG has also ventured into real estate as a laundering tool, with investments spanning multiple countries. Properties in Spain, Ireland, and the United Arab Emirates have been linked to the cartel and purchased through shell companies based in tax havens like the British Virgin Islands. In 2022, the US Treasury Department sought to undermine these financial operations by imposing sanctions on several Kinahan-owned businesses, including MTK Global and Hupo Sports, two companies that were allegedly used to launder drug profits. MTK Global, originally known as Macklin's Gym Marbella, was founded by Daniel Kinahan and retired boxer Matthew Macklin. Established in 2012, the company quickly became one of the leading management companies in the boxing industry, representing some of the world's top fighters, including heavyweight champion Tyson Fury. Through MTK Global, Kinahan was able to cultivate relationships within the boxing community and establish himself as a significant figure in the sport, despite his reputation as a cartel leader. One of the most prominent relationships fostered by Kinahan was in fact with Tyson Fury. In 2020, Fury publicly credited Kinahan for helping secure a highly anticipated fight with fellow British heavyweight Anthony Joshua, a match billed as potentially one of the largest in boxing history.
Hello there, I'm just after getting off the phone with Daniel Kinahan. He's just informed me that the biggest fight in British boxing history has just been agreed. Get up there, my boy! Big shout out, Dan. He got this done. Literally over the line, 2-fight deal.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Now that I'm thinking about this, I had seen something saying like that Fury was like tied in with the cartel. I think I saw that shit on SportsCenter before, and I was like, what? Yo, this shit making sense now. Fuck, that's crazy. I think I seen some shit before. Wow. Or it was on the news or some on YouTube. I don't know, but I watched some shit before.
Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua next year. One problem, I just got to smash Deontay Wilder's face right in the next fight.
Wilder.
And then we go into the...
That's why he beat Wilder, y'all. Nah, let me stop. He fucked Wilder up. I lost some money on that shit too. The first fight. Yeah, the second fight, I went with, yeah, you lying to me. Fool me once, hit with the blame on you. Yeah, I went with Wilder the first time. They fought the second time. I said, I'm going with Fury. yeah. Fool me once. Beat that boy ass twice.
Next year. So there we are. The Gypsy King versus AJ is on for next year, but there is a hurdle in the road called the Bronze Bomber, aka the Knockout King, and I will get onto him and knock him spark out, and then we got on to the big fight. So big thank you, Dan, for getting this deal over the line. All the best. God bless you all. See you soon. Peace out.
The public backlash against Fury's praise for Kinahan led to a more cautious approach by fighters and organizations.
I wish I would have saw that video before the first fight. I would have never ever took Wilder. You lied to me. That nigga looked like, yeah, this some light shit. This some light shit to the next one. The way he just said that, I would have never went with that nigga.
linked to MTK Global, with Fury himself distancing himself from Kinahan during another interview. In response to the mounting criticism, MTK Global announced that Kinahan would no longer be involved in the day-to-day operations of the company, although many sources suggested that he continued to exert influence from behind the scenes. Conor McGregor, another high-profile figure, also crossed paths with Daniel Kinahan, albeit under different circumstances. While McGregor, a renowned mixed martial artist and former UFC champion, wasn't formally associated with MTK Global, he did have indirect connections to Kinahan. In 2017, McGregor found himself embroiled in a dispute with a Kinahan associate after an altercation in a Dublin pub. According to reports, McGregor allegedly struck the father of a known Kinahan associate, leading to rumors online that the cartel had placed a bounty on his head. Although McGregor denied these claims and attempted to downplay the incident, the connection to Kinahan's network brought further scrutiny to his actions and affiliations. Later on, during the peak of the Kinahan-Hutch feud, McGregor was seen at one of the funerals for a slain associate of the cartel, also bringing to question his connections to the gang. The sanctions on MTK Global barred the company from accessing American financial systems and conducting transactions with American firms, essentially cutting them off from vital revenue streams. Furthermore, the US offered a $5 million reward for information leading to the arrests of Daniel Kinahan, Christy Kinahan Sr., and Christopher Kinahan Jr., Daniel's brother, increasing international pressure on the cartel's financial infrastructure. Beyond gold and real estate, the KOCG has diversified its financial portfolio by investing in high-value art, renewable energy projects, and cryptocurrency. As things stand, no one knows where Daniel Kinahan is, and although many media sources have reported that the cartel has lost most of their power and influence over time, the KOCG seems to be going nowhere.
That was a good doc. Shout out to RH. That was a good doc right there. Hold on. Like, comment, subscribe, y'all. If y'all finished, y'all watch this all the way to the end. Type Squeeze La Familia. And then drop your request under the Squeeze La Familia. Yeah. That's how I know you watched the whole video. And follow the kick. That's where you get your request at for real. This is where you really get your request at the kick. It's funny as hell. We be vibing. Pull up. And you can watch all the old videos. Not all of them, but watch some shit. Pull up. Patreon, everything. Instagram. Follow all that shit. Squeeze.